Please welcome the head coach of Nigeria, Mr. Justin Madugu, and the player Chiamaka Nnadozie. As usual, we will ask the first question before giving the floor to the journalist. Coach, welcome.
Thank you.
Coach, who is the mood with the team ahead of tomorrow's game?
Thank you. The mood in the camp is okay. Everybody is looking very bright, and we've gotten over the incident that happened in the last game, and then we are looking forward to the next game tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach. Chiamaka, how is the feeling within the team?
Yeah, the feeling is very good. Everyone is happy. Everybody is okay. The past is in the past, so we're just focusing on the next game. Everybody's okay. Everything is good. The spirit is very high.
Thank you. Now we open the floor to the journalists. So we start with the gentleman.
Coach, good morning, sir. Nelly from WAFCON Nigeria. Coach, it's on air that Nigerians are questioning your tactical and technical ability due to the last fallout of against Malawi where we lost 3-2. So I want to ask a question. Your pick, do you actually have a first 11 or you make your pick based on players' performance in training? Just to clear the air on that. Then to Chiamaka Nnadozie, I saw a clip of you going on air to apologize to Nigeria for what happened, and I feel like the critics is normal in football. People criticize and are so quick to forget what you've done for African women football. But then, how have you been able to manage the situation aside the coming on air to come and apologize? And also, how is that going to reflect in your next game? What are you bringing to the next game to probably reflect it better?
Please, can you repeat that first question?
So, Coach, my question was, it's on air that Nigerians are questioning your tactical and technical ability.
Yes.
So I want a clarity for Nigerians back home. Are you making your pick based on the players' performance in training, or you have a solid first 11 in mind already?
Okay, thank you. They are questioning my tactics or technical ability because we lost the game yesterday. But it was yesterday's game, the first game I was handling for the Super Falcons. That was not the first game I have handled. I've handled several other matches that we have won, and nobody questioned that. Even at that, it's not for me to begin to say, we all know what we're doing. We all know what we're doing. And the selection of players, there are several things you always consider. Of course, if you don't train, how do you prove to us that you are ready to play a game? It's what we see you do in training that shows your level of preparedness, whether you are ready or not. You don't come with a mindset that this is the person that is just going to play. It doesn't work that way. You have to look at the players, assess them. Also, with the game plan you are having in mind, when you try to present those ideas, who is catching those ideas better, who is doing it well. These are the things that you see, and then you say, yes, this person is fully ready for this thing. And sometimes it's not about what you see, we're all human beings. When things will go wrong, they will go wrong. And then you will begin to look for what went wrong. That's why we are there as coaches to observe and see if things are not working, what do we do about it? You try to do the best you can, and sometimes it's not magic. There are things that take time for you to be able to understand, or for the players to be able to develop, and there are things that you can give instructions quickly, and then something can equally happen, and to make amends in that regard. So it's within their limits to question whatever they want to question. But the fact is that we know what we are doing, we are focused, and we are looking ahead. And like I said, the last game we played was not the only game we played in the WAFCON. We played WAFCON last year, and we still won. Because we have lost now, people are questioning the tactics, it's within their rights to do so. I don't have any problem with that. Thank you.
Um, Talking about me coming on social media to apologize, I just feel like it was necessary, just to let the fans know that what happened was not intentional. This is football. Um, Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but that doesn't make us a bad team, or that doesn't make me a bad player. So I mean, moving on, we just have to keep our heads high and keep doing what we know how to do best. We didn't get to this level because we stayed down when we lost. I mean, this is not my first time making a mistake in a game. It has happened in the past, and if I had kept my head down, I wouldn't have continued. You know, um, I just also want to say thank you to everyone who believe in us, who has been wishing us well, who has been praying for us, and moving forward. By the grace of Almighty God, we'll try to. I mean, we've been learning a lot since the last game, and hopefully, the next game we'll try our best to make sure we get things correct.
Samuel.
Okay. So Chiamaka, this is Dr. Ademana for AdemanaSports.com. Chiamaka, over the years, you have been outstanding for club and country. How do you reset mentally ahead of this important game against Zambia, knowing fully well that we still have our destiny in our hands with 2 games to go in the group stage?
Yeah, sometimes it's not easy, but then as a professional footballer, you just have to build yourself to some certain stage, you know. Just like I said earlier, we didn't come this far because of criticism and everything, you know. Some people came to me and was like, no, stop reading comments, stop going online. I told them those things will even help me more. It will help me to come back to myself, you know. So, I mean, this is life, this is football. It happens, 2022 World Cup, Argentina against Saudi Arabia, they lost their first game at the end of the tournament, they won. So, losing against Malawi doesn't make us a bad team. And just like I said, we've all learned from our mistakes, and moving forward, we're just focusing on the next game. That one is in the past. So, yeah, we'll just try as much as we can, like I said earlier, to make things right.
Before the next question, please, the photographer, if you can stop the photo because it's so noisy for the camera. Thank you.
Hi, Coach.
Okay.
Femi Pereira of Sporting. Thank you very much for your service. One of your philosophy is in women football, the older, the better. But so far, we've seen teams like Benin, women, include players from under 17, under 20 into their national team, and even Malawi, some of their under 20 players played against us. Do you still believe in that philosophy, or are you planning to adjust?
You see, the philosophy is a different thing, and then a program, a developmental program or transition is another. That we have said the older the better does not mean the entire team must be grannies. You need quite a few of them for the purpose of guidance, for the purpose of motivation, for the much younger ones, and all that. But that is not to say the team we have is entirely an old team. We equally have young players in the team. And even in the build up to this game, some of the games we played, we also had some younger ones that we are trying to see how we can incorporate them to begin to have a plan where most of them will be graduating into the senior women's team. But currently, if you want to be realistic, we want to be realistic with ourselves. From amongst the junior team players that we have currently, can you tell me anyone that is better than the ones that are here, position by position? Let's be realistic. It's not about everybody has his time. Everybody has time. Yes, we know there are much younger ones that we are also looking at, and we have engaged some of them in some of the matches we have played so that we try to get them to begin to understand what happens at the highest level. Over time, I am quite sure that a lot of them will equally graduate into the senior team because that is supposed to be the plan, the transition from the under 17 to the under 20, from the under 20 to the senior women's team. However, there are situations where you find some special players. You can find some special players, irrespective of their age, because of their ability. They can play even at the highest level. But even such players will need guidance. They will also need to be guided so that they can always utilize the potentials in them appropriately and positively. So it's not about when we say the older the better, it doesn't mean that the entire team must be old players. It's not old players that we all have in the team. And you can even check other teams. Don't they have players that are above 30 in their teams? Thank you.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Coach. My name
Yes.
is Richard Onwaje from Atlantic TV. Now, Coach, many of your critics have criticized the last game on the basis of the fact that several players were played out of their natural positions. Now, many have named like 4 or 5 players that were not playing their natural positions. Now, we're seeing these players returning back to where they are best at, or we are in a situation whereby these players might still try them because for some, if they felt that some of these players had to be playing 90 minutes in a role whereby they are not. For example, Michelle Rose, and she was moved from her natural position to another position. And we all know that we have a rich Super Falcons team where we have players on the bench who can also play that position. So we see a situation whereby players will play their natural and their best roles. Thank you very much.
Well, aside from Michelle, which other players can you remind me of?
Okay, Shukrat is a central defender in a club.
Yeah.
Sometimes she plays, but that's her position where she is. Some will argue the captain of the team. Some will say she's best at the wing. Most of us knew her from national team at the wing, but she didn't play at the wing in the game. Some also talk about some of the other strikers that you got into play the game. So that's so if I can name like 3 players, that played, or 4 players that played outside the natural position. So that is the debate, outside there. And we follow what's going on. And the case says, why did Mr. Justin Madugu play these girls outside their natural positions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I know we have players in the team that are very flexible. If we don't believe they can play in those positions, I mean, we want to win also. So why would we be taking decisions that we know will not work out for us? Sometimes you take certain decisions, they may work out and they may not work out. For this, because we lost, certainly it will look like it is because those players were played out of position. That is why we lost. Christy plays for the national team. Mostly she plays as a defensive midfielder, a holding midfielder. But is that the same position she plays in her club? Why has nobody questioned that? The last edition we played, like I said, Ashley was not a left fullback. We were the ones that converted Ashley to play from the left fullback. And because it went well, nobody felt Ashley was being played out of position. Throughout the last edition, Rashida was playing and alternating between the midfield and the right wing. Nobody questioned that because it all went well. Now that it went wrong, certainly there will be questions that will be asked. I take responsibility for all that, and I will hope to do better in the next game. Thank you.
Next question.
Coach, good afternoon, good morning. My name is Mike from Zambia, Mike Morocco from Zambia, freelance. I just want to ask you, you're meeting a Zambia side that you stopped last year en route to winning the tournament. You beat them 5-0. Now they're coming off the back of a 6-0 win over Egypt. How would you be your approach against a Zambia side in tomorrow's game?
Like you said, last year is last year. That is history. we have a new game, we have a new competition or another competition that we are participating in. We're not using the results of last year to make our assessment. We are looking at currently what is the Zambian team doing, what is their current status. Of course, we are well aware that their confidence will be boosted by the victory over Egypt, just as we too are pained by the defeat of the last game. So we will not also want to approach the game in a manner that we will look defeatist. We are coming out also to ensure that we get the result that we want. Any game you play, your ultimate goal is you want to win. So we are also coming out against them because we know what is at stake. It's an outright win or nothing for us. So we're not taking it for granted by any means.
Yeah.
Coach, good afternoon.
Thank
My
you.
name is Samuel Aban and I write for Power Second News. My question is, against Malawi, the three goals we considered all came from a similar pattern. And I watched the Zambia game again and again. I noticed a similar pattern in the Zambian attacking formation.
Yeah.
The 6 goals they scored against Egypt, 90% of the attacking prowess were coming from the wings. The four of the 6 goals they scored all came from long balls headed into the net. My question is, we saw what long balls did to us against Malawi. And the Zambian side, they tried using the zone 14 to break the Egyptians. They couldn't. They had to switch to the wings. Do we have what it takes to stop them from the wings? What are we doing to stop the long balls from causing confusion again in our final third? We saw you in the training yesterday, putting all the details into consideration. Coach, what are you doing? Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have also done an analysis of what happened in the last game, where we got it all wrong. And actually, we have to blame ourselves because we didn't do certain things right. The plan we had was to play a high line, keep the opposition in their half, and see how we can exploit whatever opportunities that come our way. With the analogy that if we win the ball in the opposition's half, it's easier and closer for us to get to the opponent's goal and possibly hurt them. While we are also aware that in the event of a transition, we can also be hurt, so we must be careful with that. But like I said, things didn't just work out the way it did. But for the Zambia game, we have also done the same thing. We've also looked at them. They are also watching us. They are also analyzing our own team to look at everybody's strengths and weaknesses and where you can also capitalize. We are fully aware of all that. We'll keep working. We are working and we know exactly how to address whatever it is that we have analyzed and what we have also seen. We are coming up with a plan to address that.
Ladies,
Good afternoon. This question is for Chiamaka. My name is Emma from Nigeria. After our first game, I just want to ask you, how are you doing mentally? How are you preparing for our next game? And I hope the comments from social media has not made you forgotten that you won the African best goalkeeper 3 times in a row, and you did that for a reason.
Yeah, I'm doing very well. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm mentally strong. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I've been in this professional football for getting to, let's say, 9 to 10 years now. So I'm not just training as a goalkeeper. As a footballer that I am, I'm also working on, building my myself mentally, physically, everything. As a footballer, you just have to be, as complete as you can. The comments, they are not getting to me at all. I mean, we all know the continent we are coming from. We all know how it is. We know how the media is. If you do 100 good things and if you do one wrong thing, they will use it to they will use the one wrong thing to cover up the 100 you've done. And being a goalkeeper is very, very difficult. This is the most difficult position because when a striker makes a mistake, nobody sees it. When a midfielder, a defender makes a mistake, nobody sees it. But when a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it goes to the net. So, you know, it's not an easy position to play. I'm 100% okay. I promise you that the comments, everything is not getting to me at all. My teammates, the coaches, some good Nigerians, they've been behind me, they've been cheering me up. They've been doing everything they can to make sure I'm good. And trust me, I'm 100% okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Last question here, but very quickly, you have just 1 minute.
Coach, I want to talk about the World Cup coming up. Since this WAFCON is a qualifier for the World Cup. Late last year, Nigeria faced a disappointment of not making it to the World Cup, a disappointment which a lot of people still hold to heart. And they made it so clear that their target for you in this tournament is to get them a World Cup ticket. And any other thing that happens can be a bonus, which is winning the trophy. So how important does that sound to you, judging the fact that we've lost our first game and it's looking so slim, like a trade, that we just might not make it through the group?
Thank you. All of us are aware. We're all fully aware of the consequences of not winning our games and the importance of this particular edition of the Nations Cup because it gives you the opportunity of playing at the World Cup. We have all done the analysis of how you can possibly make it and the consequences of it. All that has been stressed. We are all aware of that. And that's why we are also not relenting in our efforts to try and make sure that we make up for what happened in the last game. We all want to be at the World Cup, and we know what it means to Nigerians. Globally, when the World Cup is played and you don't have Nigeria there, because of the razzmatazz and a lot of things that we bring, to the world stage, it's something that a lot of people don't feel happy. And we know being at the World Cup will also help to create a lot of opportunities. The exposure for our players, exposure to a lot of even our journalists and a lot of other business community and a lot of people, how it impacts either positively or negatively on them. And we don't want to be part of something that will be so negative. And like we said, we have made mistakes, something has happened, but we still have our faith in our hands and we'll do everything possible to make sure that we don't have a repeat of what happened with the men's team. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Chiamaka. We wish Nigeria all the best for tomorrow's game. Thank you to the leaders. Thank you.
Thank you.